can see a difference in a nightmare or my life. So please save me from myself, cause there's a side of me and no one sees it. I battle demons every day. Can't in my life. Okay, I think I'm in, everyone. Hello everyone, how are we doing? We doing wonderful. I got a few stuff today. So I have water, Sunny D, applesauce, and the main thing I'm kind of excited about today is buttercream frosting. So I think I'll take a little bit every time someone gives me a cookie. So it'll be exciting. I'll be genuinely happy. But I think I'm gonna start off with a little bit of Sunny D just to get hydrated. Okay. And hello, Inamori, how you doing? Everyone time trying to hit mine. So we're playing AFK Journey today. I'm worried that people won't know I'm live now because of the time difference. You can feel better. I see. I'm sorry. I hope you feel amazing very soon. I hope that... Are you at work or are you at home? If you're at home, I hope the time... I know! UJ, I'm so glad you're here because... I was like, are people gonna know I'm live right now? But if you're here, that's what matters, you know? So, yes. This is gonna be the new time right now, okay? So, the times you see on screen are correct again. 1:30 PDT. I hate daylight time. Who came up with this? Okay, I know exactly who came up with it and why. I just don't understand why we still need it. Or why we still have it. You opened Twitch and was like, I want to watch. Aw, thank you. You left work early? Wow. So yes, the times on screen are correct again. It's 1:30 PDT, 2:30 MDT, 3:30 CDT, and 4:30 EDT. So I have pretty strong opinions about most of the AFK Journey characters. I just did my dailies. Hello, Snuggie! So I was thinking about what if we did like a tier list. Not today, not today. We have quests to do today. And look you guys. Oops, wrong button. What am I doing? Look. Hollowstone, 100%. Gold Wheatshire, 100%. Dark Forest, 100%. Medusa Mountains, 100%. Remnant Peaks, 100%. West White Ridge, 100%. East White Ridge, 100%. 100%. Yes, I did watch that trailer. Oh my gosh, it was emotional. I was feeling some type of way, but it was really pretty. So was it combined? Because I saw Carolina's for sure. She was like, have you ever seen a grave for and afraid of the dark? I was like, wow, so pretty. I love the style graphically. It was very lovely, and I love to hear like Carolina's voice and the way that she was kind of like showcasing the characters. I really like that they did her voice. Like, I just felt like it added like a nice touch instead of like some random person like me talking about it. I just felt like it was really nice that Carolina was talking about her skills, and I believe her brother's skills as well. I thought that was really cute. I've also been addicted still. I'm on like my 20th day straight at this point, just thinking like, I felt a curse around me, a chill pierced through my body. I've been singing that song non-stop. Day and night these ghosts are haunting. And the one part that I'm like confused about in the lyrics is like, keep on parasiting on me, but she doesn't say parasiting. I'm pretty sure the correct word is parasiting, but she says like parasitizing on me or something. I'm not sure if that's like an accent or a word I've never heard before. Oh my gosh, we need to talk about the new characters because I'm so upset. If I never see this man again, I'll be happy. He's like right up there with Hodgkin with me, like right now. Like, I don't like him. I don't like him.
Stand against me.
I just don't. I don't. I don't care if he's good. I don't care. What does he even do? I don't care. I feel like the Tesla truck lady.
Who could possibly stand against me?
New character. Okay, Hinamori, thank you so much for the lurk. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, resting, getting well. Maybe take some vitamin C, emergency. Paging Dr. Beats. Emergency, but like the vitamin C. I love ginger tea when I'm feeling not so well. I need to make it. It just doesn't feel right if my grandma doesn't make it. That's not, is Greta, that person. I know exactly who you're talking about. I think I saw her. I don't know what she does either. Is she not in the window anymore? Was she never in the window? I know exactly who you're talking about. The bear lady who runs the, was it called Ghostly Getaway? I thought she was out already. I'm not sure. And yo, UJ, do you think Yelena and the Archduke are gonna be characters like that we can draw for? I was thinking no. But one of my friends was talking with me and they said that they think that Princess Yelena is gonna come back with like something. And I'm like, how? She never fought at all in the story. So I don't know how that's gonna be. So that's why I'm in Dark Forest right now. I was busy trying to get 100%. But look, everybody has 100%. And not only do they have 100%, okay, so ignore Dark Forest and Medusa Mountain. Because these are fake 100%. I won't lie, I'm still bothered by it. But like, look at East White Ridge. Completely done. Everything is checkpointed. Everything. Look at this. Look at this. Everything is actually 100% except for Dark Forest and Medusa Mountains. But I tried to do Dark Forest, which is why I'm right here. Oops. I accidentally like tabbed out. So I tried to do the Dark Forest. But like this puzzle requires that you would do like some sort of side quest that I did not do. So instead, we are gonna move on. Garda's English VA is Brittany. Is that Fox or let me cut off. I have to open my phone. I just realized I didn't have my phone up. But I can see the difference in a nightmare or my life. So please save me from myself, cause there's a Cox. Okay, I see it. Side of me, and no one sees it. I battle demons every day. I can't control my life. Okay. So my phone is up. What are we doing? We are continuing with the story. That's what we were doing. I think we're leaning towards real archaeology to the floral ruins. Let me know if you have any requests. Is that Valley and Melissa over there? What are they arguing about this time? Oh, I have to talk to him. I was like clicking stuff. I actually feel like I have the female version of this outfit. Yeah, I do. This one. I have this. This is what I wore for a while just because I like the bright color. No, they won't be a playable character. I definitely think so. They need to rest in peace. I agree. I agree, UJ. So my friend said that they're probably going to come back as a playable character, and I don't think they will. Like, they're gone. Like, and the argument was like, well, Nara is gone, but she's in the story. And I was like, but she was a Graveborn, and she had a fully fledged out fighting already. Like, when she had like a significant fighting role in the story beforehand. The mage and the adventurer. Okay, so right after we finish like talking with this guy, we're gonna switch. Are you alright, Golly? You seem all sneezy. I'm fine. Just a bit of a pollen allergy. A little? Your face is so puffy you look like a chipmunk hoarding nuts. Even I can barely understand you, and we've worked together for years. And thank you so much for joining. Seriously, you need to rest before it gets worse. Let's head to Cedar Town. No, I can't just leave yet. There's got to be an ancient tomb around here. I just need to... Come on, your health is more important. And how exactly do you know that? I'm gonna say, come on, your health is more important. Exactly. How can you be so certain there's a tomb here? What if you're wrong? This isn't worth it. I can't be wrong. do my sneezes sound convincing? I kind of think I killed it, but like at the same time, I don't know until I like rewatch the VOD and I'm like, maybe my sneeze wasn't as good as I think. Let me do the talking. The conservatory gave us some time off. We were going to relax and enjoy the Snowspire Festival, but instead, we stumbled upon the antique bracelet in Cedartown. Maybe the corrupt version of the Archduke may come as this. Oh, yeah, that guy! He might come as the Dream World. Maybe the corrupt version of Archduke may come as a small boss in the labyrinth. Oh, fair. Just like we have corrupt Yrmir there. I totally forgot Yrmir. Welcome, Shimmy! Shinagi was technically first, but you're pretty on time. It's only 10 minutes in, so welcome in, Shimmy. 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 Sorry. It didn't look like much, rusty and unremarkable, but after Gali examined it, he determined that it had to be at least 1,000 years old. Judging from the style, it might belong to another noble or a high-ranking knight. The merchant mentioned that they live near the Patalia Plains and often unearth artifacts. This bracelet, too, was found by their family. So, Gali is convinced there's an ancient tomb hidden somewhere here. I actually already discovered that ancient tomb. So I'm wondering if this quest appeared after I found the ancient tomb. That's what I'm wondering. Like if there was a prerequisite to find the tomb to get this quest. You know how he is? He'd rather skip the festival entirely than miss a chance to investigate. There goes my peaceful vacation. So that's why he's so insistent. But Gali, even if there's an ancient tomb here, it's not worth risking your health over allergies. I've never had allergies before. He's telling the truth. Why is it hitting him so badly this time? I keep telling him to rest and come back next time, but he's just not having it. Oh, do you know you can rewatch? Oh, I did not know that. Hold on, let me read the comments so people know what I'm talking about. Oh, but by the way, do you know that now you can rewatch all the story cutscenes as many times as we want? That's huge for story lovers like me. I know you, Jay. That's actually really nice. Because there was a lot of cutscenes that... This is what I want Mabby to do too. So AFK Journey, I feel like they do a lot for the game. I actually feel like they really care about the game and they listen to people. Because how come so many like changes work so nice? You know what I mean? And it's... I know that people... like are upset about the diamonds, but like I have a lot of diamonds, okay? Like you have to save your diamonds, you know. You can't have every single character Supreme Plus, but you can definitely, as a free-to-play player, get like everything you want. Well, not everything you want, but like you can flesh out a team for every faction. There's definitely I feel like it's harder for new players to get the characters they want specifically, but if you played since day one, you probably have all the characters that you want. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way AFK Journey runs their program, like their game. I don't know why I called it a program. It's a game. I mean, it's a program too, but I actually really like it. And then now that we can rewatch cutscenes, that's just like another thing that some companies just don't do, like period. So, like Mabby, oh, I wish I could replay like just the story parts. And they do save some cutscenes, but not like all of them. So it kind of makes me sad. But that is a net positive, UJ. That's huge. And the fact that like I love it. Every moment we delay risks damage to the tomb. A little allergy is not... Then you should cover your nose and mouth. Oh yeah, for sure. Before I used to save the cutscenes on my phone, but that's pretty messed up my phone storage. Oh no! So it's nice that they do a big change. You know what I'm thinking about trying to do? I was thinking about going back and like clipping all of the quests and then just uploading them so people could see the quests. Like just as they are. That could be interesting. If only we had some kind of magic cure for allergies. Too bad Cedartown doesn't have anything like that. Actually, I have the recipe for a potion that might help. Shall we try it out for him? We just need to find unripe crystal berries and dried snow radishes. Combining them into a potion will do the trick. But let's actually switch. Oh, there's always something going on TikTok. There really is. We might. Okay, I think it's okay now, but we're gonna switch over to what did you say it was? What did you say? Can you say it one more time? Can you say it one more time? I'm sorry. I feel the need to sing like everything. Can't breathe, can't move, can't make a sound. Don't even know if you're right behind me. My heart is heavy and my hands are shaking. I'm stuck in this world and there's no escaping. You move too fast but I'm stuck in slow motion. It's your world and I'm drowning in your ocean. I didn't live this long to be your dinner, so it's your move. I can't actually find my own channel. That's kind of crazy. Can't breathe, can't move, can't make a sound. And I can see a difference in a nightmare. The Mage and the Adventurer. Ludovic and Carolina are both in it. Ooh, that's fun. I like to hear it. Because honestly, I feel like I'm a little attached to the characters. I think I said it before and I'll say it again, but I think this chapter was the best. Hands down. Like, I thought I would love the Wilder story more. But honestly, I feel like they just did better with the Dark Forest is good. I love that chapter and I love the aesthetic. But I feel just like this one was the best. Chains of Eternity. It's like they keep gradually getting better. Okay, well, if I had to say in order of the seasons, I would probably say, well, I think the Dark Forest one is like the starter story. So maybe that one doesn't count. No, that's the... I get confused. Definitely, I like the Wilder story. That was the top one before. So if I had to say Chains of Eternity, top. Then Dark Forest. Then Rustport. Then whatever Soren and Elsa was. Whatever that was. I guess I'm feeling a little too chatty today. The Mage and the Adventurer. Yeah, Dark Forest is starter story content. I see. The Mage and the Adventurer. Once upon a time, there was a little adventurer who aspired to explore the entirety of Hesperia on foot. Hesperia? Is that the same name as... Let me check something. I feel like I've thought about this before, but I'm not sure if I'm tripping. But is that the same name as the town in this light? I have to check. I feel like I've thought about that before. They have espers. That's what they're called. Okay, so it's esper, not Hesperia. But anyway. Once upon a time, there was a little adventurer who aspired to explore the entirety of Hesperia on foot. However, fear held her back, as she was intimidated by the low howling winds and biting cold. Meanwhile, there was a great mage, well-versed in all the spells of the world. He had a great sense of humor and a charming personality. On a dark, starless night, the great mage knocked on the little adventurer's door. "I'll keep you safe," the mage promised. "I'll use magic to dispel all evil and clear every obstacle so you can have a joyous and safe journey." "Really? That's really kind of you, sir. But I'm so small and I can't even reach your shoulders. What can I do to repay your kindness?" the little adventurer asked sheepishly. "The scenery we share along the way will be enough," the mage replied with a hearty laugh. Just like that, the great mage and the little adventurer embarked on their journey together. They would travel to many places and admire the beauty of Hesperia. All they needed to do was an epic adventure. For an epic adventure was to take that very first step. to my dear little Carly. You are the purest snowflake in the world. Aww. It's dedicated to little Carly. Is that one of Ludovic's relatives? No, Carolina. Let's go ask him. There is no other... Okay, but I think... So, from my perspective, it's obvious. But I think from their perspective, like, it's more than reasonable to assume that it's someone related to Ludovic, because it's his house. It's his house. But I think the story is really sweet. The manor hasn't changed at all. Greetings. What can I do for you all? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? I can't hear you. Hello, Ludovic. We found a storybook in the corner of the manor. Is it yours? Now guess who they are. I'm 90% sure is gonna be... I mean, you said Ludovic and Carolina, but I think Ludovic's gonna be like barely involved in the story, which is fine. I'm down for it. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a Callan. I believe that Callan is the great mage in the story, and Carolina is the adventurer in that story. That's my opinion. That's what I think is gonna happen, and I think it's gonna be a kind of depressing story where that was like maybe one of the like. It's very clear that oh shoot! I accidentally like I have a Sunny D, and I'm like playing with the lid, and I like shut it on my hand. But anyway. I think what it's gonna be is that Carolina wanted to go like explore, but she's not that much of a person who leaves her house, sort of like Ludovic. So Ludovic stays in his manor, and then if you realized, Carolina kind of did the same thing. Like she was kind of like bound in her manor as well. Partially because that's the only place they were welcome, but I do believe that Carolina has like a little bit of fear and doubt because Carolina and Callan are very close. Like if you could tell there's a lot of like great love between them, and I think the story is going to be like basically Callan sacrificing himself for Carolina so that her dreams can come true. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be about, but hopefully I don't tear up. I might. We don't know what's going to happen. The Mage and the Little Adventurer. Yes, this book is a part of my collection. It originally belonged to the Randiov family. That name sounds familiar. Can you tell us about this family? Why is it in your collection? I'm just gonna be like, that's Carolina. Like, so I'm not gonna say that name sounds familiar. We know it. Can you tell us about this family? Why do we need to hear a third perspective when we already know Carolina? In general, like, I don't like hearing like stories from someone else, because I feel like that's like kind of like talking behind their back. I don't care what you're saying, you should kind of just talk about that person to that person, you know what I mean? So if you have a question, just ask them, you know? And then even if you weren't meaning anything harmful and you just wanted to ask something, who would know the story best? The person who went through it, right? Not like a bystander. So I would say, why is it in your collection? Because of its significance. I had a very close personal relationship with Earl Randiov when I was alive. At that time, many in his family had magical talents and were very devout to Dura. After the Divine War ended, hypofiends ran rampant across the land. His family rallied the warriors in the region and took the fight to them. Many fell in battle, like true nobility, and finally, the last of their line died for their country. Many years after that, I came across this old book. The Randiov family had long since perished, so I bought it as a final memento to the Randiov family and that era of honor. Wait, Randiov? Tippy remembers his name from somewhere. We were at the cemetery behind White Ridge Temple. Carolina helped us to find the secret passage. The screen turning like... It felt ominous. I'm pretty sure this is just supposed to be like sepia, but like it triggered like fight or flight in me. Go down from this tomb, follow the main passage, and you'll reach the interior of the temple. The inscription here says, "Here lies Carolina Randiov, a maiden with a soul as pure as snow. May she forever sleep in divine light." Is this your grave? It is so. Though you don't need to worry about disturbing the dead here. I'll allow it. Oh, Carolina's full name is Carolina Randolph. In other words, she and her brother are both from the Randonov family. Her brother? Are you talking about the eldest grandson of the family, Callan? Yes, Carolina calls him her brother, but he doesn't seem to be self-aware or know what's going on. And that's what bums me out about Callan. Like, I just want them to be happy. Is it too much to ask for? Like, I wish he didn't lose, like, all of his sense. But in a way, maybe that's good. Because, you know, Carolina is suffering right now. You know, just by being graveborn. So maybe it's good that he doesn't have to endure that. But at the same time, would she be suffering if her brother was, like, right there, being able to communicate and being able to talk and have that relationship? Who knows? Truly, even him? Who would have thought that such a devout and honorable family would meet such a fate? When I heard that they were graveborn living near the temple, but I never expected that they were the descendants of the Randinovs. So this book, The Mage and the Adventurer, belongs to them. At least he acknowledges that, you know, like he's not just taking it. He just thought they were like gone. Bummer. In the video of the illusion of snow, if you look carefully, you'll see. I did see that. I noticed it. It happened at least 2 or 3 times. I think it happened in like 1 minute. And trust me, I was like watching this video because I was like staring at her. You don't understand how much I've been watching that video. I noticed like every nuance at that point. She had like 3 different eye looks, but it's not. Hold on. I've been obsessed. And I did listen to some of the other songs because I was like, this song slaps. Like, this song is lit. So I started listening to the other songs, and while they don't hold a candle to Illusions in Snow, some of them did like pull pretty close. Like, even though I don't like Mr. Crayon, See Ya Later, Mr. See Ya Later, his song kind of slayed. Like, it did good. Was it as good as Illusions in Snow? No, but it was good. In certain parts of the song, but most of us didn't pay attention back then. I think I didn't hear it before I knew what was up, so I'm not sure if I would have noticed that or not. I feel like I would have been focused on the lyrics personally, because I'm a lyrics girly. So if there's a lyric video, I'm watching that. always. So I'm not sure if I would have noticed it. Maybe next time when the song comes out, then I try to like figure things out. I don't know. We'll have to see. You need our help returning it. Will you give the book back to them? I feel like asking the question is better. I feel like both of these questions are like putting too much pressure on Ludovic. Because like, do you need our help returning it? Assumes that he's going to give it back. Well, I mean, he did say it belongs to them. It seems like he's already gonna give it to them. I still wouldn't answer either like this. I guess this is what I would say the most. Although I would like to offer help, I don't want to like pressure him into like making a decision, because it's not our decision to make, you know? So I'm gonna say, will you give the book back to them? Yes. This book belonged to their family, and I'm simply returning it to their original owners. Would you be so kind and lead the way? Of course. For you, Ludovic, anything. I don't know why would you be so kind is such like a good word. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it reminds me of would you kindly. But when we go back to the video and to the story ends, I know it does all make sense. Especially like if she said, so at the end, close to the end of the song, she goes, switch. Da 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 da. So like when she says switch, I feel like before I wouldn't really have understood what that meant, but now looking back, I can kind of clearly see what she meant. Yes, Carolina should have returned to the secret passage in the ruins of the manor. Let's go find her. Ah, the Randyov Manor. How nostalgic. Wait. Did you just see what way he was standing? He was standing kind of like a ballet dancer. You know, like with one foot in front of the other. And soon they'll be walking across the floor. It was just a very interesting posture that I just noticed when the screen disappeared. You'll all return to the ruins of where Carolina lives. Wait. Wake up, Callan. Callan? What happened to Carolina? We're not asking questions what happened to Callan? Okay, but anyway, can you UJ? So I had this song stuck in my head at work. It goes like da 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 da. Okay, like that's all I remembered. Is that an AFK Journey song? Because I was thinking about it like all day. Like, why do I have this one random song stuck in my head? And I know that's not Illusions in Snow. Is that some sort of backtrack? Like I just heard it from playing so long. I was really trying to think. Like I was thinking, is it an anime outro? Like what's going on? Like I don't know. If you know, let me know. What's going on? What happened? Why is Callan laying on the ground? Please help me. He suddenly fell and isn't moving. It's almost as if death has come again. How could this happen? Can Graveborn die again? I'm not gonna say this because this is kind of disrespectful. I'm gonna say, how could this happen? I'm not sure either. My brother's body needs regular maintenance. When I went to get the oil for him, he suddenly collapsed before me. They were pretty sure that no one will notice that or think it's the main plot or twist to the story. I know, it would have definitely been like a little like treat. Like, because when, like I said this before, like with the login intros changing, you don't really process change that well. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't tell what was different in the login screen. I knew somebody was missing. So the only reason I was even looking out for it was because you mentioned something, UJ. So then I was like, okay, I gotta remember what's on the screen. And when Yelena disappeared, the person I thought of was Valen for some reason. I was like, Valen was in the picture. Looking back, that's kind of goofy. Why did I think that? But at the same time, like, your brain is just like, well, what happened? What changed? What's missing? So it was a really smart decision for them. It's like the little symbolism, and that's what I love in stories, to be honest. Like if it's just a plain story with just like, you know what I mean? Like it's the little things, the little details that they add in that adds a little spice. You know what I mean? Like that's one reason why I don't let this show up if you don't know what it is. It's The Adventures of Sophie. I think that's what it's called. The show is incredibly graphic. I don't know, well, not graphic, but it's like, it's pretty heavy. I don't know how it got on Netflix Kids, but that was so funny. For like the week it was like there, because it disappeared after a while, because I'm 100% sure people complained about it, because she literally does narcotics in the show, and I'm just like, what? There was no way that they meant to put that in Kids, but I guess they just looked at how it was animated and how it was colorful, and they were like, oh, it must be for kids. But no, if you watch that show, you would know that it was not for kids. And I feel like they did really good at symbolism. Like, everything they did led to something else in the best way possible. But let me focus on AFK. Ludovic's surprise is so funny. Like, his eyes like grew twice the size. But let's take a look at your brother first. Is he truly Callan? Callan Randinov? Yes. Do you know us? I'm his sister, Carolina Randiov. I'm familiar with the Randinov name. Let's help him, and she and I can check on his condition. I don't know what Ludovic thinks he's gonna do. I'm doing it. His body is pure machinery. Is there something wrong with his parts? He's such the funniest face when he's like eyes twice the size. Overall, they did a really outstanding job representing the story this season in all aspects. On top of being an emotional story, it will be in our memory for a long time. I know. And then Twitter, they posted on Twitter like a picture of Princess Yelena. I don't even know what the thing was. I just knew that like when I saw her, like my heart hurt. Like I was like, no. So, like I know if like in a couple of weeks or like whenever the next story comes out, if we ever flash a picture of Princess Yelena on screen, like that's gonna traumatize some people. Like I know that's gonna be like, you know how they say like traumatize a fandom with one image? Just show Princess Yelena. That's all you need. It's incredible that his body is made entirely of machinery. There's no flesh or blood at all. And you say he's really Callan, the heir to the Randonov family. What happened to him? Why did he become like this instead of being resurrected as a Graveborn like you? Apologies, sir, but I don't know the details. I wasn't there to witness when he was turned into a golem, but I'm fairly certain he's my brother, Callan. Even though he looked a little frightening when I first saw him, he called me by my nickname, Little Carly. Only my parents and brother ever call me that. That's how I knew who he was. Just one image is enough. 100%. Just one picture of Princess Yelena would make me sad. Because I love her. I think she has a very sweet personality, and then she suffered enough. Like, she suffered enough. Yeah, like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, we're all flawed, but I feel like the person who got the rawest deal in this entire story was Princess Yelena. And she was the most cheerful about it at the same time. You know, like, even in death, you know, like, that was, like, minutes away, you know? So, like, I'm actually stunned. Like, I'm bothered. It was such a heart-wrenching story. I just gotta move on. I gotta move on. And yeah, you're right. They did absolutely amazing. The music, the story, the characters. I have literally no notes. It was written so well. The only notes I have are for the characters themselves to get their acts together. Because the Archduke, no. Sorry, no. He shouldn't have done what he did. But it makes sense. That's what I really like about it. Like, even the people with terrible personalities, they had the correct motive and rationale to do what they did. We will get the next part of the story very soon, which will probably cover her and No! I cannot. No, we have to just leave them in the past. I cannot have a funeral arc. No! That's terrible. But at the same time, I'm out there. I'll be there for it. Miss Carolina, we found a book with this nickname on its title page. Does it belong to you? Here's the book. The Mage and the Adventurer. This is a story that my brother gave me when I was a child. After I became a Graveborn, I returned here to my home and discovered that many of our possessions were destroyed in the war. Where did you find it? At my estate. Good sir, you haven't even introduced yourself yet. Ludovic These names are hard, man. It's Valisa, right? Valesa? We're just gonna call him Valesa from now on. I don't care what his name is. Do not at me. Valesa? You're Viscount Ludovic? Thank you! Someone used the correct title, thank you! The first anniversary of the game is coming up. Oh wow! That's so soon! Has it been a year already? Oh. You're Viscount Ludovic? I remember my grandfather used to look out in our garden and reminisce about his youth. He always spoke of how much he missed conversing with you over tea. Every time your name came up, grandfather's voice was filled with sadness. He often mentioned that you left too early. You were a very important friend to him. Okay, we're gonna put a hold on that. I have theories already. Aemon. Yes, even now, my memory of him has not faded. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're just gonna try to make it through. I'm laughing, like I'm giggling just because you do it to keep from crying, you know? But anyway. My time ended too prematurely. Even though Aemon's legacy lives on in you and Callan, it is heartbreaking that you have become a Graveborn, your brother a golem. It seems that the gods have turned their backs on both our land and our kin. That's kind of sucks, you know, like, oh, I feel bad. Okay, let's move on. My lord, the gods have not forsaken us. Because of their mercy, even though my brother has become like this, he was able to stay by my side for hundreds of years. For this, I am forever grateful. You are indeed a Rendinov. Magister, and my lord Ludovic. Okay, she's very respectful. I feel like Lord is a little too far, but at the same time... No, Lord is the correct title. That's the correct title, right? Lord and Lady. If time has not stripped away your compassion, I beg you to aid my brother, Callan. 100%. Like, I was gonna do that anyway. I wish she could wake up and call me little Carly again. I have some understanding of magic that involves the soul and human body, but Callan's soul inhabits a mechanical form. This surpasses my expertise. Magic that involves soul and human body, and that's why he was the one that was called upon to turn people into Graveborns. So he just has that ability, and we're glossing over it. We're just glossing over it entirely, because we didn't talk about this enough last season. Because how does he just have that? And why? Okay, they have to make him hate Graveborns for this to not be an overpowered power. You know what I mean? Ugh. I know someone who knows mechanics. I can call Hugin to help us. I know a guy. I feel like giving someone the most details is more ideal. And when you have to give only one detail at a time, so if you say I know a guy, they're gonna be like, well, who's the guy? But if I call Hugin to help us, they're gonna be like, who is Hugin? But if I say I know someone who knows mechanics, they could ask what his name is, but at the same time that doesn't really matter in this scenario. So I know someone who knows mechanics is the correct answer, in my opinion. Yes, Hugin is very proficient in mechanics and machinery. If anyone can discover what's wrong with Callan's body, it's him. Hugin? He's a highly skilled dwarf artificer and craftsman. He's one of our traveling companions and is very trustworthy. In that case, please invite him to the manor. Ludovic is Carolina's grandfather generation, so way older than her, which is crazy to think. I know, it's hard to like pinpoint how old Ludovic is because he's stuck in time from when he died. But now knowing that he's Carolina's age, and oh, so Carolina has been in existence for hundreds of years, right? That's what they said, hundreds of years, just now. So hundreds of years, plus like what? How far is a grandparent's generation? Like 20 years? 40? I would say 40 years. How old are your grandparents? I don't know. So I would say roughly like 100 years plus the hundreds that she already lived. So he's been existing for way too long. I would assume that it's exactly at like 900. So because if it was more than, so she said hundreds, right? Okay, I'm trying to come up with the math. But basically she said hundreds, right? That's what she said, hundreds. So so it can't be more than 1,000, because then she would have said thousands or 1,000, right? So it has to be somewhere like 500 to like 900. That's the cap. Like, that's the cap. So I would estimate that Ludovic is like 714. That's my guess right there. I hope we won't scare him off. Did I read whatever this is? In that case, please invite him to the manor. Then let's get Chippy. I mean, what? Then let's go get Hugin as fast as we can, Magister. Oh, he didn't step like a ballerina that time. He had more like, what's the duck? No, yeah, duck. He stood like a duck that time. After receiving your message, Hugin quickly arrives. Ha! I bet there's a mechanical golem here. I need to take a good look. Come here. After a careful and meticulous inspection, the casting on him is quite remarkable. His parts were all riveted together seamlessly. It's rare to see such a fine work. Who created this work of art? I can see that the creator incorporated some of our dwarven concepts. One of my fellow dwarves must have participated in this creation as well. I think the golem was designed by my brother and his companions. My brother loved reading new inventions and had many dwarven friends. My brother often spoke of the crucial role machines could play in our war against the hypofiends, leading him to research and create golems with his friends. I love that Hugin just does not care that Carolina is a Graveborn. That is not the first thing he mentioned at all. He was just like, wow, golem. And honestly, that's a breath of fresh air. He better not turn it around. No wonder this place was so well made. However, this big lad is too quiet. I could hear all sorts of mechanical sounds inside, but not a peep out of him. Why isn't he moving? What's wrong? From what I can see, there shouldn't be any problem. The gears are running well. Everything is well lubricated. The person maintaining the golem is doing a good job. Great job. Although the power reactor is empty, he doesn't seem to be powered by any sort of energy I know of. Wait, the power reactor is empty? Yes. I opened it and there was nothing inside. Judging from the capacity, even if it was full, it could only stay operational for a week or two. Judging from the funny looks on your faces, I can tell you all know nothing about the structure of this big lad, let alone how to add energy to his reactor. I can hazard a guess that this golem was powered by magic, which is not in my area of expertise. Whew. Can my brother even wake up? From a mechanical standpoint, I can't give you a definite answer. Could this happen? Callan, we've spent so much time together. Are you just going to abandon me now? Oh, don't be crying, Missy. Thank you for your suggestion, Master Hugin. Since it's related to magic, it's better to leave it to us. Then you all better comfort the child. I can't bear to see a little girl cry. Little girl? That was not the impression. I was not... Well, again, hundreds of years. So that's like the first indicator, but like... Still, she doesn't look young either. In fact, Carolina looks older than Ludovic. Like, that's the vibe I get. I feel like she's young, but not like... I feel like she's like 17, while Ludovic's stuck at like 14. You know what I mean? Like, well, actually, he looks more stuck at 16, and she looks like she's stuck at 20. I'll continue studying the big lad on the ground, What? Why is the compartment locked? Since Callan is powered by magic, maybe Ludovic and Magister can find a way to help? Let us check. Grave calling magic? I want a golem in the future. That is the most insensitive thing you can say in this moment. No! One day we need to make a new account and just like play through all of the stories with the most absurd answers. Like just whatever we didn't do before. All of the arrogant answers. All of the insensitive ones just to see what happens. Let us check. Grave calling magic? I want to say this. Grave calling magic. I have knowledge of the sinister graveborn magic that chains the soul to the mortal body. The anguish it causes varies, often leading to unbearable torment for the bound soul. I will try testing the soul in the body. What's the matter, Ludovic? You can actually do that. I feel so. Like, because you can hop on different servers and make new accounts, right? Should we just have like a day where we do all of the absurd answers? Can I like hop to Chains of Eternity? Because I feel like this is the most interesting story, so that's where I want to see all of the options. It's nothing. I'm hoping that Randyov descendant isn't suffering that kind of torture. Now he's got the duck feet again. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm looking at his feet so much. Alan, what happened to you? What did you find out from your test, Ludovic? Do not let Carolina hear this. No, you can replay them again on this account as well. You can? UJ, how? Oh, UJ. You look serious. Bad news? I'm gonna say bad news, you know, because I know this is probably not the best answer, but like, whenever somebody's like, oh, do you want good news or bad news first? It's always bad news you want to hear first. That way you can end it on a happy note, you know? It was indeed soul-binding magic, and it was performed hastily and roughly. The soul tethered to this vessel is on the brink of shattering. What does that mean? The pain of his soul is unimaginable. It is a miracle that such a broken soul can survive in such a body for so long. That gives me like... I don't know how to say it, but like... It feels painful. Like, I don't think there's a word in English that conveys what I'm trying to say. But like, it's like unimaginable, you know, like it's rough, it's terrible. Like, Callan endured so much because it was something that he did himself, right? He put his own body and soul into the golem to protect Carolina, who was a Graveborn at that point. So, like, he inflicted that on himself. Like, it's the ultimate, like, sacrifice. And he's in more suffering than Carolina is. I think that's what they're implying. And then we know that Graveborns don't necessarily have the best life or existence already. So that's why it's like so painful. It's agonizing. I guess that's the word. I think he's at his limit and can no longer hold on. How could this have happened? Who would do such a cruel thing? Also voices Ingrid from FE3H. What is that? Oh, that from Impact, and Lena from The and Fina from Pirate Princess Anime. I need to look up her voice actor, because they're getting like some pretty like poppin' people, like Lily Pichu, Christina V, not Britney Spears. I'm looking it up. I'm just trying to see quickly if she does any roles that I know. I'm not gonna read all of them. Nier Automata. Oh, Fire Emblem! Free Hopes. Oh wait, I haven't actually seen her, but that's one of the characters you mentioned from the Pirate Princess anime. Rainbow High? Oh my gosh, I've actually seen that. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of funny. I did. Bella Parker. Interesting. What? Bella being the voice... The bear lady. You're saying the bear lady is Bella Parker from Rainbow High? That's crazy. Oh, Pokemon. She did Pokemon Masters. Lena, Ingrid. Oh, I know who that is. Kart Rider. No way. That's a Nexon game. Yo, that's crazy. I'm way interested now. The Legend of Heroes. Pokemon. Evangelion? Oh my goodness. Wow, she does a lot. She's pretty prolific, yeah. She did quite a bit. And stuff that I know too. Could it be the Hypogean or one of their minions? You said that when the Hypofiends invaded, the Randinov family stood on the front lines of battle. This was not Hypogean. This was Callan himself. Maybe they broke into the Randinov estate. They killed Callan and did this as revenge. Please say no more. You heard. Ugh. We're just guessing, Carolina. Please don't be upset. No, thank you for informing me of the truth. For so many years, every night I asked myself if it was enough to have my brother by my side like this. I've watched him grow more silent by the day, and I knew that he would leave me one day. I was so afraid that I would be alone again. So I prayed every night for my brother to stay with me for one more day, and at dawn, the next day, I would pray again and rejoice that the gods had answered my prayers. I didn't know my brother had to pay such a terrible price for my selfish desires, that he was trapped in such a soul-wrenching pain all these years. So I'm grateful and implore you to help me atone for the sins I've committed. Let's help my brother find peace. How can we help? To have the dead die again. You're doing the right thing. I'm gonna say how can we help? Why? Because I feel like this is kind of sad to say, you know, to have the dead die again, and you're doing the right thing. I don't think, morally, I don't think it is my place to determine what is best for their family. So I'm just gonna say, how can we help? To bring peace to Callan's soul, we must discover a way to break the soul-binding enchantment placed on his mechanical form and set him free. If we do that, you two will never speak again. I'm prepared for that, my lord. As you wish. While my knowledge of soul-binding magic is limited, I believe if we find his real body and restore his soul to his rightful place, it will bring Callan much relief. Nah, man. Ah. Of course, even if we do manage to do this, Callan's soul has endured much tremendous damage that his remaining life force would fade quickly. But at least he would find peace at last. Nah, I can't do this, man. That I promise you. You need his body. Do you know where he's buried? His body is gone, decomposed. And for the story replay, just go to the story section. You can see the story recap option at the top right corner. I see, thank you. Do you know where he's buried? It must be hard to see his body. For so long, can you still find it? I'm gonna say this because realistically his body is decomposed. There's just no way. Even if it's 200 years, because she said hundreds, plural, so it's at least 200 at the very least. Nobody's body is like being so for real. I'm pretty sure body decay can happen in 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it can happen. Yeah, like I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now. This is a crazy thing to look up. How long does it take for a human body to decay? So, however, on average, a human body in a typical coffin. So in a typical coffin, this is not assuming that he was like just like laid out or any other form. So if he's just like on land, this is a different number. Like if he's just like decaying, for example, I don't know. I think you know what I mean. Like if he was just not buried or buried with no casket, it's the breakdown starts to happen within a year, but takes up to a decade. So even if it was 100 years, and wait, isn't his golem partly him? And he just had to replace part of it with his... This is crazy. I don't know why I'm talking about this. But my point is, he is long decayed already. Unless he was in some sort of like mummification. Some sort of mummification or like fossilization. You know, like those are the only options. Maybe water? I don't know if water can preserve a body that long. How long? This is crazy. How long does it take for a body to decay in water? I don't even think in water. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So the casket is the longest time he has, with up like around a decade. Oh, hello, DM. This is a crazy thing to be talking about, but yes, this is the emotional part. The emotional part already happened. We can't have more. I would have showed up sooner, but I got caught up with the Core Keeper's new update. Core Keeper's new update. What is that? Explain, DM. What is that? Is that Mabby? What is that? Oof. I believe my brother's body is in White Ridge Temple. Why is he in the temple? Well, a lot happened between the time of my end and when I resurrected. Oh. I see. Many people died during the war against the Hypofiends. Sometimes only pieces of bodies were recovered. Oof. Upon my resurrection, I saw acolytes doing their best to collect them all. They were wrapped in linen and put into the church cellar. Thanks to our family's strong ties with the White Ridge Temple, the remains of our kin were held apart from the others, providing future descendants the chance to retrieve them for fitting burial. Oh, my mic is poppin' lockin'? Okay, thank you for letting me know. I will fix the pop-a lockin'. But yes. I'm already feeling quite devastated. Like, whenever they talk about, like, Talon's state, I feel kind of depressed. I really do. I just pushed my camera away. That's... I had to recalibrate my face first, but we are back. We are back. Is it still popping and cracking? Thanks to our... Okay. When I awoke, a long time had passed. The acolytes I knew in the temple were gone, and no one knew who I was. I'm a Graveborn, and Graveborn are not allowed in White Ridge Temple. So you weren't allowed to... Oh no! No! That's even worse! Now imagine... No! UJ, don't say that! I'm hurt! No! So you weren't able to bury Talon. Talon is waiting at the temple. No wonder you seem so sad sometimes, bruh. Worst option. I'm gonna say Callan is waiting at the temple. I'm gonna say this because I'm hoping that it gives slightly more positive. No, you know what? You don't always have to make things positive. I know, I think mirroring Carolina's, like, healing right now is actually the best option. I'm gonna say so you weren't able to bury Callan. Oh, okay, I see Core Keeper is just a top-down Minecraft-esque game on Steam, I see. Here, the separation between the realm of the living and that of the dead is starkly apparent. Recently, some acolytes were brainwashed by a Hypogean, so the temple should be a mess right now. This time, they may not pay attention to us. This is our best chance to get inside and find Callan. Come on, Miss Carolina. We'll help you find your brother, so you two can truly reunite. Thank you. I truly appreciate everything you're doing. When we went to the temple last time, I saw a few caskets in the antechamber. Let's go there and take a look. Wonderful! Oh, she's fine now. Leave the big lad to me. You go and come back soon. I actually forgot Hugin was here. This is a sad story. We're still hypoing. Let's do. Sorry, I was drinking some orange juice and it like got stuck in my throat, so it was like that citric burn. Okay, I think this team is fine. Generally, your team is always gonna be fine. Because are so chill about all this, and honestly, we needed someone who was chill about it. Because even Carolina was like worried about like scaring him off, so we needed someone who was just chill. Like in general, I feel like Greythorn should be treated better. And honestly, it's great Hugin is treating them well, because he was, if anybody should be skeptical about the Greythorns, it should be the people of Restport. Because of all the, what is it called? The Water Whites? The whole like Nara, Bonnie, Viperion, Hodgkin, those were their experiences with Greythorns. My brother Callan might be lying here somewhere. Removing the top of the heavy coffin, a smell of decay and dust rises to the surface. The body is in a coffin, incomplete. The left hand and left leg are missing. It's a horrible sight to behold. However, the movement of the coffin seems to have disturbed the creatures in the temple. Yeah, the Dead Tide Fleet. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot their names. But you knew who I was talking about. I knew it wasn't Water Whites, but I still couldn't like figure out what their name was. So I was just like, oh, let's just list all the Greythorns. Falling Priest, I'll handle him. Easy. Seconds. Seconds. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I think we just needed to leave the Randonov Manor for me to feel better. And I feel better. I'm enjoying my orange juice.
Everyone's doing great.
Everyone's doing great. Ooh. You know, I kind of want to eat some buttercream. Should I eat a little buttercream? Okay. The remains just now. Please let me take another look. That's rough. The parchment is too tattered for you to make out the words on it. After piecing it together carefully, you recognize some key phrases. Today, I'll answer your doubts about why I invested so much capital and money into developing these machine servants, or as you call them, mechanical golems. Even though the creator has passed away, the mechanical golems can still execute commands as long as they have sufficient fuel. They are more loyal and reliable than any living beings you have ever encountered. I believe all of you have read the battle reports at the border region. As mere mortals, we are fragile and full of limitations. After we are gone, who will protect our beloved family and friends? I'm not a competent mage. Oh, I never have been. Maybe I don't look like a typical member of the Randonov family, but I'm trying to help and protect the people of the duchy in my own way. Little Carly is at the temple praying devoutly for the warriors guarding our borderlands. She's contributing to the war in her own way. I must do the same as well. When she was a child, I invented a tale for her. A master mage created the world's most powerful golem for a frightened little adventurer, making her brave in the end. She smiled at me after hearing that story. This might not be the most ideal method, but it's the most effective path I can take. I'll die eventually, but my creations will remain, forever protecting those I cherish. Water whites were the humans, the thugs that were working for the undead gang. And Nara made them the leader of the water whites by Hodgkin and he gave her the ship chainkeeper. Thank you. The remains are the mage and the adventurer. Callan? Are these Callan's remains? Are you sure? Maybe you need to double check. I'm not gonna say this. This is brutal. I'm not gonna say this either, because this actually conveys what I'm trying to say. But I feel like this is actually what I want to say. Because I feel like "are you sure" is like doubting her, and I don't want to doubt her in this moment, because she's obviously seeing Callan's decays in remains in far less ideal conditions than anybody would really want. Oh, let me adjust my face a little bit. I feel like I'm leaning up too much. I think that's fine. Now I'm just testing my head angles. But why am I looking to the side like that? Like, that's crazy. Okay, I think my eyes are good now. The story was also very good, but obviously the season is just miles ahead. I agree. Like, Rustport was better than the Soren and Alsa one. For sure. I'm not sure if it's... Yeah, I would say it's better than Dark Forest. Probably. No, I like Dark Forest more. I don't know. It's hard to say. But definitely Chains of Eternity wipes all of them. Like, for real. Like, it's a sweep. I'm gonna say, are these Callan's remains? It's him. This has to be Callan. He stood a head taller than me, with broad, powerful shoulders. When I was little, he would hoist me up with one hand, so I can watch the nightingales in the trees. And now he lays curled up in such a tiny space, his head resting on the cold, unforgiving slab. Miss Carolina, the letter spoke of a great mage and made the most powerful golem in the world to help little Carly so she wouldn't be scared anymore. Did Callan write The Mage and the Adventurer for you? Yes. As a child, I was terrified of the dark. And often cried, so my brother would write fairy tales to soothe me. In his tales, he was a powerful mage, and I was a little adventurer. He could do anything and always keep me safe. At 13, I left home to serve the goddess Dura at the temple. Meanwhile, my brother stayed behind with our father, handling paperwork and undergoing professional training to become a mage. However, my brother showed little interest in this. He much preferred organizing reading clubs and creating interesting inventions with his friends. Each time we corresponded, my brother's letters were accompanied by a list of new books he had read. In our last letters, he wrote about his new dwarven friends and how they were inventing things that were going to change the world. But then, Hypothenes came like a tide. And afterward, did Callan create a golem? I'm gonna say an afterward because I don't, like, it's Carolina's story. Like, we don't need to finish it. My memory of that time is hazy. Hypothenes broke into the temple, and I was injured. Amid the fires and screams, my brother came and took me away to the secret passage my family built. He said he would protect me like the great mage in the book, and told me not to look back, and to run all the way back to the manor. He promised our butler would take me to a safe haven. But suddenly, my surroundings turned cold, and thick darkness engulfed me. Was that the last thing you remember? No. I remember waking up to the moment there was a huge explosion, and sounds of flesh being crushed. Also, piercing pain. At the end, I saw my brother before me. No! Oh, no. Oh my gosh! This is heartbreaking. Okay, but let's continue. At the end, I saw my brother before me. At that moment, he had already turned into a golem. I was so scared, but he stretched out his hand and called me little Carly. No matter how cold he felt or how he looked, I knew that was my brother Callan. Close your eyes and picture Callan as he was in life. That's the real him. I need a second to be able to read properly. I can't be doing this. This is criminal. Okay. My lord. For 2 millennia, the memories of my parents and relatives have been an anchor for my sanity. You must learn to remember. Only in this way can you sustain yourself. The people you miss will forever live in your grandest memories, bathed in the perfect light. Who would not be crying, DM? This is such a sad story. Am I tripping? Like, how do you guys feel? I feel like this is really sad. Like, this whole thing Ludovic is saying. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, my lord. But I'll never close my eyes again. Because of my refusal to see what was in front of me, I brought torment to my brother's soul. Like, I don't know if I can properly commentate. Because, like, this is so sad. But, like, Carolina, she's not to blame for this. This was not her fault. No, if anything, it's the hypofiends. And the people who bring the hypofiends here. It was none of the Graveborn's fault. Not Carolina. And they're treated so poorly, as if it was their fault. It just hurts because yes, it's fantasy and it's fiction, but in a way people sometimes feel like this, you know, like people blame themselves for things that were not their fault. Like if somebody like experienced a car accident and someone in the car had passed away but they lived, so then they have like survivor's guilt. It's not their fault. You know? So that's how I feel about it. So yes, they're characters, but their stories are like real in a way. Of course, not exactly like this, but you know, that's why it's touching, you know, because it's not just perfect characters, it's characters with realistic feelings. And also, like, their voices, I know I can't do their voices justice, but I can imagine, like, the story in my head. You know, like, I can hear their voices. So I know you hear my voice, but I hear their voices. And yes, I do get attached to characters. This is why it's so important for me to even want to play a game, to love the character I'm playing. That's why GENSHIN IMPACT can't say the name out loud or I'll get bombarded with advertisements. But that's why I can't play that game, because no one in that story motivates me or touches me or is a story that I find realistic enough, you know? Exactly. But I feel a little bit more cheery. We're gonna continue the story. We're not gonna stay here on this one side. I'm sorry. Even if I have to be alone again, I wish for Callan's soul to rest in peace. Please help me bring him back and free his soul. And this is the best ending. You know, like, even though it is a sad story, Callan being free is the best outcome. Bear with me a little longer, Callan. And I have pretty good... Okay, so... I have pretty good memory when it comes to images. So I can remember images pretty well. It's different with faces, okay? I cannot remember faces. But images, like, I can just remember that, like, photo frame with Callan's face and Carolina's face, like, right next to each other in that photo frame. Like, I have that, like, image in my mind. So, yeah. Return to her abode. Why didn't I move? Why didn't I move? Did I click off the screen? Oh, you're back! Did you find the boy's body? We did. Master Hugin. How is my brother doing? Oh, Missy. If I knew how to fix him, he would be here greeting you instead of me. It's alright. We brought back my brother's remains, and soon he'll find peace. I can use magic to extract Callan's soul from the golem and return it to his remains. He needs to return to the place from whence he came and proceed to where he belongs. That was a wild sentence. So that his soul may find peace once more. This magic is simple. This may require a medium. I'm gonna say this. Indeed, to felicitate. Is that the word? To facilitate. I'm sorry, I can't speak fancy. Indeed, to facilitate the soul's return to his body is essential to build a pathway to create a guiding bridge. Callan's most treasured possessions can act as markers to lead his soul. By placing them in the formation, Carolina, being a blood relative, can you call upon Callan's soul? That's all that's needed. His treasured possessions. Can you think of any? It's up to you, Carolina. I'm not gonna say this. This puts too much pressure. I will never say, like, oh, we can only do it because of you, or stuff like that. I feel like that adds too much pressure. I know that will... Okay, so pressure works differently for different people. For me, I crush under pressure. I cannot do pressure. I start tripping up. Like, even when I'm playing a dancing rhythm game, I'm like, I can get 100%. But if I start, like, getting into my head, and I'm like, oh, I didn't mess up yet. I'm gonna mess up soon. You know, that's how I treat it, you know? So I don't do well under pressure, so I don't normally use pressure in language. However, sometimes pressure helps uplift someone. For example, if someone just opened a jar of mayonnaise for me, I don't know why I said that, jar of pickles for me. If somebody opens a jar of pickles for me, that's like a hard task. It's hard. I don't like pickles, but for the sake of the example, then I would hype them up like, oh my gosh, I couldn't have done it without you, stuff like that, you know? So then they could feel like positively about the pressure, because it's not like, do you get what I'm saying? I would agree that this chapter is fairly emotion-evoking. I was feeling all the tension when we dealt with Cryanaya. Oh my gosh, don't get me started with Cryanaya. There's two people I despise in this story. Okay, so on the tier list of despicable, it's Cryanaya. No, it's actually Sia. Not Sia, but Sia, as in see ya later. So him, he's at the top. I just don't like him. Even more than Cryanaya. Because Cryanaya, she's just evil. You know what I mean? And her idea of having fun is being cruel. So like, she's different. Like, she's just messed up. You know, like, okay, actually, they're both really bad. To be honest, I'll put them in the same S tier. But I think Sia is a little bit worse. Because he's so, like, arrogant. Like, he knows he's doing bad. It's not like Cryanaya. So Cryanaya, she doesn't process the emotion in the same way. She treats us like ants. You know, like, oh, I can crush an ant. It doesn't matter. I can crush the humans. It doesn't matter. But Sia knows exactly. He knows exactly what he was doing. And I think that's worse. I think that's worse. And he's a human like us. You know, like, if someone invades your house and you don't know them and then they stab you, you don't feel betrayed. You're just like, oh man, this person is terrible, right? That's Cryanaya. But then now imagine if your cousin walked into your house and stabbed you. That's different. You probably brought them tea. You know, you were gonna share some cookies with them. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you guys do when family comes over. But that's your family. You expect more from them. So that's how I feel about Cryanaya and Sia. So that's why I think Sia later is worse than Cryanaya. Because Cryanaya is just evil. You know, like, she's just bad. But Sia had the potential to be good, but chose bad instead. And he knows it. Like, I could compare him to other media characters, like Riku, for example, from Kingdom Hearts. Riku is not a bad dude. He chose darkness, and he was goofy about it, but he wasn't evil. He chose darkness. Or consider Rory from Mabi. You know, he's constantly goofy. He has all the best intentions, but executes it all in the wrong way every single time. That's different. But Sia knew what he was doing. That's why I don't like him. So it's Sia, Cryanaya, and then Archduke is below them. So like, if they're on S tier, he's on like A tier. Riku is definitely manipulated. Yeah, oh, of course. Like, there was so much going on with him. But like, you see what I mean? Like, people can be on the wrong side for good reasons. That's what I mean to say. But that wasn't what Sia went through. You know what I mean? Bro knew what he was doing. And he knew he was wrong. Like, he knew he was bad. His whole attitude is like, you should bow before me. I'm the strongest. Like, that's so annoying. Like, not even annoying. That's not even the right word. Infuriating is the right word. Can you think of anything? It's up to you, Carolina. So I'm gonna say, can you think of anything? Because remember, this is a sad time. We're not trying to like hype them up or give them energy. This is a solemn moment. He was also a heretic, so Thea? Yeah, he's terrible in every way. And then all of those people wouldn't have fell if he hadn't helped Cryanaya. You know what I mean? Like, he played a fundamental role in ruining everybody's life. What can I say? Compared to all the other characters who are so good, like Valka, Queen, we love her. Princess Yelena, I feel bad for her, but I love her. Princess. What about the Temple Hierophant? That's an interesting one, because I don't feel like I had enough of his personality. Do I think he's a good guy? No. Kind of. Okay, he's a little bit more complicated. Sort of like the Archduke. Like, he did make mistakes. So there's a difference between being evil and making a mistake, you know? So I don't think people should be faulted for mistakes. I'm trying to think of a character. I think he meant well, but his execution was terrible as well. He was a pawn, exactly. And I didn't see enough of how he handled everything. So the only thing that I saw of the Hierophant is kind of what I heard from other people, like Valka. So, and Carolina. So Valka was saying how he was a stand-up dude, and he even let Carolina visit her family, like visit the temple sometimes, right? So he was one of the people who treated the Graveborns with relative respect. So he's better than the Archduke, but then I also remember him, like, when we were playing as Rodrigo and we're escorting Princess Yelena out, he was also saying stuff that was just so egregious. Like, he was like, oh, we should just pray. And I know, like, I feel like it's tricky because that involves faith, right? So, I feel at some point you need to make a tangible action. You know what I mean? I'm not sure where anybody lies on that sector, but I feel like it's tricky, you know? But I do feel like maybe he's slightly better than Archduke. Slightly better. So I would say he's after the Archduke. So remember, in dislikability, Thea is at the top. Then Cryanaya, then Archduke, and then the Hierophant. I think in that order. Because he was not a bad man. I don't want to say that, but I think he was too passive, too inactive. That's my opinion. But again, I haven't seen him that much, so I can't really make a hard statement about him. Because we've only heard really like secondhand accounts. So remember at the beginning of the stream I said, like, you shouldn't ask a bystander. If you have questions, you should ask that person. Because, and then all we have really is bystander information. So I don't feel like that, we don't know what he did off camera. You know, we only saw him with the Archduke. We only saw him painted through the lens of Rodrigo, Valka, and Carolina. So it's tricky, it's tricky. He wasn't written as the strongest character. Right. Can you think of anything? It's up to you, Carolina. Okay, can you think of anything? Continue. Family honor means a lot to my brother. At his coming of age ceremony, my father gave him a ruby signet ring with our family crest engraved upon it. I still remember my father's words. From this day onward, you will officially represent the Randonov family. Your words will hold weight, and your actions will be scrutinized. Always remember your station, Callan. That moment, my brother put on a signet ring and marked his acceptance of the family's duties and obligations. Since then, I have never seen him remove it. If we're lucky, that ring should be still on Callan's hand. You all turn your attention back to Callan's remains, noticing a darkly gleaming ring on his withered right hand, seemingly encrusted with dried blood. Sorry to disturb you, Callan. Magister, please take the signet ring and place it beside the remains. I will attempt to guide his soul back. Man. This is also another thing I want to talk about. I don't like that there's so much pressure on, like, I mean, I guess it's a good way and a bad thing as well, because nobility should be like this, you know what I mean? But I also feel very sad for them as well. Oh, really? I just read that DM. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fix it. Oh dear, maybe there's just too much pressure on my computer at the moment. Let me actually try to close some of the unneeded tabs. So we're gonna actually close Chrome altogether, because I have a lot of Chrome tabs right now. We're just gonna close them all because Chrome is pretty notoriously bad. That's pretty much all I can close right now. I'm gonna close this window, make sure I'm out of Steam. That looks, I'm gonna close my screen dimmer, because yes, I do have a separate screen dimmer. Just bringing it to your attention. Thank you, DM. I really do appreciate it. If you ever have like a statement about my microphone quality or the screen quality in any way, please always let me know. It does really help. Because there's nothing I despise more than looking back at my own stream and being like, dang, this sucks. But yes, thank you. Thank you so much. O beyond soul, heed the call of your namekin and return to your rightful path. Callan, can you hear me? No response. It feels like we're playing Phasmophobia. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How old are you? How old are you? Talk to Carolina. Callan. Why isn't Callan responding to me? Perhaps the medium isn't important enough for Callan to awaken the remnants of his soul. If the family signet ring isn't important enough, what is? The book. The book. Because it wasn't family honor, it was his love. We live for Scruff. Thank you. I once heard one of my friends, because I was really distraught. So one of my first VTuber friends was Alphonse, Sir Alphonse. And I did a collab with him. I think he was like my first collab stream. I could be wrong. It might have been Zell. But anyway, I was talking with Sir Alphonse. And he said, Scruff is part of the charm. And I was like, that's such a nice sentiment. I love that. If the family signet ring isn't important enough, what is? The value of the medium cannot be judged in worldly terms. A dying flower can hold more significance than a jewel if it's dear to the soul and life. Our home has been reduced to dust. After such a long time, I don't know what possessions my brother has left. His storybook is still here. He left something just for you. I'm gonna say he left something just for you because I think I want to leave Carolina with knowing that she wasn't forgotten or like left behind. So saying his storybook, although it is his storybook and he did literally write it, I feel like I should say for you is what made it valuable. You know, it's not the story itself. It was for whom the book was written that was valuable. The Mage and the Adventurer? But that's just a fairy tale he wrote for me when I was young. My brother loved books all his life and wrote much more works, such as Ducal Territory Act for the Archduke and the Song of Saint Belisa, which explored the history of the temple. There were so many other documents and books that I can't even remember. They were all piled high on his desk. Callan always said he was proud of the power of his quill. And some of his greatest creations have now just disappeared on the bitter winter wind. What he keeps with him is the most precious. He has kept all your letters. I'm gonna say this. You always kept all your letters. Magister Merlin is absolutely right. Why did you just drop me like that? Like, why did you just name drop me? Don't name drop me. Magister Merlin is absolutely right. What I hold dearest are my children. He is married? He has kids? Oh. Not him immediately dropping hard hat, hard head, and whistler. I mean, fair, sir, fair. After all, my daughter, Lizzie, is right outside my room. My cat, for anyone who doesn't know. Stupid ads. Dang. If they left me, I wouldn't be able to go on. Even at the end of my life, they'll always stay with me until we're nailed shut in our coffin and buried in the earth. Miss Carolina, we should really give it a try. It's Callan's love for you that kept his soul going for so long. Compared to one's duties, when a soul is about to die, it is very natural for a person to want to return to their family. Callan. Magister, please take this letter and put it aside. The Mage and the Adventurer. What was the letter? I hope Callan will respond back this time. The decayed letter that we read in the coffin, right? Can we read it? I'm just curious. I just want to see if it's that letter. The time-worn letter with faded ink, still legible enough for Carolina to recognize the handwriting. You feel brotherly love emanating from this. O bound soul, heed the call of your kin and return to your rightful path. Callan, I still can't sense him. Put Carolina in the circle. I knew that wasn't enough for Callan. There still seems to be no response. These handwritten letters alone aren't enough. What precious item would awaken Callan's soul then? Miss Carolina, did Callan leave behind any other important belongings after his death? Eugen and his children, absolutely. And honestly, I feel him for that. He's real. He's a real one. I saw waffles during the ad break. Think I gotta make some tomorrow morning. Ooh, yes! I've been starting to make eggs for myself. Like, I feel like eggs are like my new, like, food. So I'm vegetarian, and I don't eat a lot of protein in general. Like, it's one of my biggest weaknesses. And I don't eat I know, my doctors. Thank you, doctor. So I had pretty terrible doctors before. But now I have a new doctor who is just, like, baffled at, like, how bad my other doctors were. And he was just like, no, we need to know exactly what your levels are. So I realized I have, like, a deficiency in, like, a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to eat, like, better. And then, so eggs are, like, my new, like, kick. Like, because those things are nutritious. I feel like Gaston, you know, like, every morning he eats 12 dozen eggs. Miss Carolina, did Callan leave behind any other important blunt? Okay, I already read that. Nothing. He stayed with me after he was turned into a golem. We wandered around the snowy remains of our estate. All that was left were broken walls and empty rooms. It's past my childhood, and everything we've been through. It's all gone. You and your memory of him are still here? And another soul serve as a medium. I'm gonna say this, because again, I feel like mirroring Carolina's feeling and validating that is more important than necessarily being positive all the time. Hello, Brownie! Lillian Brownie Art! This is a cute nickname! I like it! I would say that it's important to eat protein-adjacent foods since you don't eat meat. Absolutely, DM. Absolutely. Sorry I wasn't there yesterday. No, it's okay. I was actually lurking, so I did see you continue your art. I'm sorry. I'm a lurker at heart. But yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I was very baffled. Like, I was, what was it? Like, I don't know what the right word would be, but like, I was stunned. I was amazed by your art. Like, when I saw the screen, I wasn't really sure. Like, I didn't believe that it would be that good. You know what I mean? Like, that you could just draw that on stream. Like, I was actually baffled. Amazing work. Amazing work. How long? How long did it take? You and your memory of him are still here. In another... I'm gonna say this. Mirroring feelings is important. You wish for Carolina to act as a medium to bring her... Bro is shocked. He has the funniest face. He has the funniest face. Maybe because he's just so nonchalant the whole time that when he shows an expression, it's so funny. Like a day or two, wow. You wish for Carolina to act as a medium to bring her brother's soul back? She's not an object. She's a living being with her own soul. Dang, Ludovic! I didn't mean it like that. The magic for extracting and transferring souls is incredibly dangerous. If done incorrectly, it could cause irreversible harm to both Carolina and Callan. But is it possible? I haven't tested it on anyone. And I don't plan to. I mean, technically, Ludovic is right. Ludovic is right. My lord, please hear what I have to say. I honestly don't mind. In fact, I very much like to try. Your soul could be torn asunder, and you might endure unbearable pain just like Callan. The agony will embed itself in your soul, lasting beyond any eternity you can conceive. Dang, Ludovic is like so for real. He's like, do not do this. And honestly, I kind of agree with Ludovic. Like on like a standpoint, like if I was really in this situation between Carolina and Ludovic, I would not be siding with Carolina right now. Like, I understand that's the direction they want us to go, but I would be like Ludovic, like, let's play it safe. Let's find something else. It's what my brother has been enduring, is it not? Yes, but Callan has already suffered. You're different. Your willingness to sacrifice yourself shows you're truly a Randonov. Why must fate torment Aemon's descendants this way. I appreciate your concern, my lord, but how can I run away when I can now show his pain after making my brother suffer for so long due to my own selfish desires? This is exactly what I disagree with. I do not agree with what Carolina is saying at all right now. How can I run away when I can share his pain? No! You are not sharing his pain. You are just experiencing the same thing. That's like if my brother or my sister or anybody or my best friend got into a car accident. And then I was like, I need to get into a car accident. Why? No. It's not like you're sharing the load. I would agree if it was really like sharing the pain together. You know what I mean? Like if it was, for example, if I'm holding a really big box and it's full of like metal or something, like I would want like my dad, for example, to help me with that. You know, I would pull out maybe one metal cube and give it to him. And give my sister like an iron bar, you know, that way we can share the load together because that is actually helpful. But experiencing the same pain just to experience it is not helpful. You know what I mean? Like, Carolina, no. If that's the only reason, if she said, I really want to lead my brother's soul and this is the only thing we can think of, then I would be inclined to like, okay with that. But she's putting herself in danger just because she's anguished about the pain that has already happened. She is not the only one who made that decision. Callan also made the decision. So like, you know what I mean? Like, Callan wasn't helpless the very first day, you know? That's my opinion. Like, don't invalidate his decision from the past. He made his choice in the past already. Moreover, your cautious nature reassures me that you will strive to fulfill my and my brother's wishes. Let us have him rest in peace. Still can't make up your mind? Everything depends on you. Again, no, we don't need this pressure. To be honest, we're cornering Ludovic. Because, of course, Ludovic wants to help the family, you know? When death or great sacrifices is involved, the whole point is for the surviving to move on. I would agree with that. Kind of. I guess for me, it matters on a case-by-case situation. So if you're trying to put yourself in the position just to put yourself in the position, no. That helps no one. In fact, that would make the dead more angry. Do you think Callan wants Carolina to suffer like he did? No! He suffered through it so that he could protect her. Protect. So, by going through that pain just to go through it is foolish. You know what I mean? Like, ugh! Carolina, no! Stop! But here she is trying to free her brother's soul by this process, which could cause her to experience a similar kind of pain. Exactly, UJ. And I think her motivation, so the action itself, I don't have an issue with. The action of wanting to be some sort of medium for him is a good thing. It's at least something, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thought. But, the motivation behind the action is not okay. Okay, we're saying the same thing. So again, I don't feel like we're putting Ludovic in a good position, personally. I don't like this. I'm gonna say still can't make up your mind. It's maddening that the random elves always choose to sacrifice themselves. I kinda agree, Ludovic. I kinda agree. I agree. I can just like imagine the ancestors of like, you know, like Ludovic's time. And him having to deal with his friend who's like super self-sacrificial. Could you imagine like Ludovic stubs his toe and his like best friend is like there like, bro, no, I gotta stub my toe now. And then Ludovic's like, no, stop. The big thing is to hold on to the memories. Exactly. And then I do agree, which is kind of why I got emotional when Ludovic was talking earlier. Where he was saying like, remember him how he was alive. I think that's an important thing to remember, you know? Now I'm getting emotional again. Okay, let me breathe. If you're prepared, Carolina, step in front of Callan, and please don't let me regret this. Thank you, my lord. Here, bound soul. Should I feel like I need to remove my picture. Hear me, Callan. Little Carly. Something's wrong. He's resisting the magic. Little Carly. Little Carly. Oh no! Oh my gosh, you gotta laugh to stop from crying. Like, what is happening? No!
Immerse yourself in the purifying flames.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay. I guess this is how it's gonna be. Oh my goodness.
Is everyone okay?
Is everyone okay? No, I am not okay. I'm not okay. Okay. What happened to Callan? He's not moving again. The molded parts are smoking. We need to fix him up. Get out of the way, Missy. How could this have happened? Didn't Callan hear Carolina and start moving again? Callan's lingering soul fought against my magic. He resisted the return to his original body. The magic was causing his essence to tear, so I had no choice but to release him before it was too late. Unfortunately, there were some adverse reactions to the magic. Why doesn't he want to return? Was the soul-binding magic so strong? I'm gonna say, because I know the answer. And it's what I was saying earlier. It's because Callan made this decision on his own. You know, it wasn't Carolina. It wasn't Carolina who was putting him through that suffering. It was Callan who made that decision himself to protect Carolina. So that's why she shouldn't feel so guilty about it, because it wasn't her decision, it was Callan's. And yes, it's sad, but at the same time, that's what Callan wanted. I do not know. I just cannot fathom why any tormented soul wouldn't seek peace. What is he clinging on to? Whoa, this fella. Everyone, come take a look. What did you find, Master Hugin? When inspecting the parts earlier, I discovered this golem had a locked compartment in his chest. After the explosion just now, the lock portion protecting the outer shell was broken, so I was able to get the little gadget out of his chest. What is this? It's a sound loom. It's an amazing invention created by my people to record sounds. Yo, whatever plays better not make me cry. Like, I'm just saying. While the essence of the sound is vibration, my people were able to quantify sound into different frequencies of vibration. By rearranging those vibrations with a metal foil, we can reproduce them. That's how the sound loom was born. As long as the frequency recorder is intact, it can record sounds of the past, whether it's a century-old piano song or the cry of a newborn baby. How did it end up in Callan's mechanical body? And you mentioned it can record all kinds of sounds. I know, DM, I'm trying so hard. Does it sound like I'm crying? Because I am. Like, I'm just mortified. And this story is so good, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm in tears, I'm torn apart, but at the same time, it's beautiful, like, it's an art, you know, like, how can words on a screen make you feel something? Like, realistically, like, this is crazy. Like, this is what I mean. How is this a side story? This is a side story. They didn't even bother voice acting this, but it's so good. I don't even need to hear the voices to know. Oh man. Master Hugin, could it have recorded my brother's voice when he was alive? Well, I haven't played it yet, so it could be anything. It's possible it recorded the lad's last moments, but it could also be an engineering log left by the golem's maker, or sounds from the war. Me and the speech loom had a little talk, though. It said that if it's for you, it's willing to reproduce the sounds of the past. So it's up to you, Missy. Callan, do you want to try it? Don't miss this chance. You could hear Callan's last words. I'm gonna say, don't miss this chance. And normally I would say, do you want to try it? But I feel like I want to encourage her to listen to it. Because if she doesn't, she might regret it. That's how I feel. So I would want her to listen to it. So I'm gonna say, don't miss this chance. And I don't want to give her, like, hopes of, like, being able to hear Callan's last words. Because it might not be. I've only cried once playing video games. I'd say the last option, you could hear Callan's last words. That is true, but I don't want to give her false hope. So it could not be his last words. So this is what I'm gonna say. Don't miss this chance. Please play it, Mr. Hugin. Whatever the speech loom has to say, I'm ready. The sound loom starts up. At first, only the slow clicking sounds of gears and metal can be heard. However, the sound gradually change, and they start to sound more familiar. They better play some audio. No! Helen's voice. I need to run faster. Little Carly's still at the temple. She doesn't know Hyperfiends have breached the temple grounds. Alan! This is my brother's voice. This was before we went to the temple to find me. Carly, are you injured? I don't know what's happening. Jura above. Alan's voice is drowned out by the sounds of loud explosions, buildings collapsing, and falling debris. After these sounds, the howl of Hypofiends can be heard, followed by the rapid breathing and running sounds. Suddenly, there is a pause. The sound of a mechanical opening can be heard, and then something huge moves away. Carly, hide inside and run back home as fast as you can. Rizzo will take you somewhere safe. Don't be scared, you'll be fine. Don't leave me, Callan. The Hypofiends are still out there. Don't leave me alone. Carly, remember the fairy tale we read? You're a brave adventurer and I'm a great mage who can defeat any monster. Now run. Don't look back. Callan, the moment we parted. The sound loom continues to vibrate and hum. This time you hear the bestial howls of pain and the sounds of sharp weapon piercing flesh. You can hear breathing suddenly stop. It's deathly quiet. However, soon the breathing continues and become winded and painful. Carly, I'm sorry. You wish to protect her also? You are indeed of one mind. My body can no longer move, but you can. You can continue protecting little Carly forever. Very well. Lift me up so that the gods may stand witness. I remember a spell from a forbidden tomb long ago. Fate must be smiling at us. You have an immortal body, while I have a living soul. This will hurt. Eldora, fix your eyes upon me. Let me stay with her until the end of time. There is a faint chanting of a spell, followed by complete silence. No sound of the wind nor crackling of fire. Then the sounds of machinery begin to hum. Carolina. Callan. Oh. You volunteered to be a golem. Callan kept his promise to you. Don't cry, you're a brave adventurer. Not my place. 3 is not my place to say. I'm gonna say Callan kept his promise to you. I'm actually like, I don't know how to proceed. Callan did not fall to hypogean magic. All of this was for Miss Carolina. Even if he had to change into his form and endure endless pain, he still wanted to protect his sister. That's the reason his soul resisted. He didn't want to leave Carolina. However, if this continues, this is a temporary solution, cannot last forever. Regrettably, Callan's soul has reached its limit. Despite his resistance, he cannot defy the laws of nature with sheer willpower. His soul is weakening rapidly. If left alone, his essence would dissipate within a few days or possibly even hours. How could this happen? We did our best to found his body. He just needs to return to it. His original body cannot stay with Carolina. I do not want my brother to suffer because of me anymore. I wish for him to find peace. Can we somehow repair his soul? Lord Ludovic, please find a way. No, again, this is putting way too much pressure on Ludovic. He's not a miracle worker. If anybody, it's Merlin who's a miracle worker. We can't be pushing all this on him. Repairing his soul could be an option, but I'm not sure if it's possible. Callan's soul was transferred to a golem too quickly, causing it to tear apart. It's possible that the fragments of his essence still linger in his original body. If we could transfer these remaining fragments to the golem, he might be able to hold on a longer. Would my brother still be in pain? The agony of a sundered soul will never truly fade. Yet, I believe he will find some relief. A soul. Carolina. In that case, I must decline. I can't bear to see my brother endure so any more pain. I'm sorry, I can't make good gear sounds. Callan, is he trying to say something? I can't hear him clearly. The mechanical language. He says he... Oh. That's mechanical language. He says he still wants to stay by your side. I think this all depends on Callan's own wishes. Callan, do you still want to continue despite everything? Father and mother are gone, and even Rigel has passed on. Carolina leans her head against the motionless golem, listening quietly as Hugin tries to convey what Callan is saying. His ballerina pose. I'm sorry. Carolina's feet are covered, and Ludovic's are not, so he's doing the ballerina pose, and I know that. After a long time, Carolina rises with tears frozen on her face. My lord, my brother has decided he wishes to stay in this body. I'll respect his decision. Magister, please aid in activating the spell. This time, everything will be in reverse. I'll transfer the fragments of his soul from that remains to the golem. Repairing his soul would be more akin to burying his remains. I'm not sure how that works, but sure, DM. I don't know. I guess so. I hope that this can give him some peace. should I continue calling to my brother? Yes, as his most treasured relative, your voice must reach his soul. I understand if that's the case. There's something I want to try. Magister, can you please hand me the mage and the adventurer? Here you go. What are you planning to do? I'm gonna say here you go. With this book, I will read aloud as we did in our childhood. But this time, I'll read it to him instead. I won't be... It won't be him telling me a tale, but me sharing our story with him. Are you ready? Yes, my lord. Carolina picks up the book and clears his throat. What? Clears her throat. Wow, I read that wrong. Once upon a time, there was a little adventurer who dreamed of exploring every corner of Asperia on her own 2 feet. Meanwhile, there was a great mage, well versed in all spells of the world. He had a great sense of humor and a charming personality. On a dark, starless night, the great mage knocked on the little adventurer's door. I'll keep you safe, the mage promised. I'll use magic to dispel all evil and clear every obstacle, so you can have a joyful and safe journey. However, to his surprise, the little adventurer shook her head and said, I don't need your protection, Mr. Mage. My feet have crossed deep waters and have been burned in cold frost. I have seen a lot, and I understand a lot. So, what do you need me to do, asked the great mage. I need you to go on a journey with me, and we will face difficulties and obstacles together. We'll climb mountains and cross rainbows side by side, the little adventurer proclaimed. Callum's soul is reacting. Continue. After many adventures, they stopped at the end of the journey. There was a small stone house. There was a fireplace and some wood. They stretched in front of the fire and realized they were home. Carolina? Callan, you're awake. Command received. Stay with little Carly forever. In order to protect his sister Carolina, Callan chose to bind his soul to the golem forever, embracing eternal agony. Well, that was a story. Oh, man. So what did you guys think? You can't even skip the ads. What did I miss? What did you miss? I don't know. Man. So we guided the rest. Okay, so I don't know exactly what you missed, Ian, but so we ended up, so Callan's remains, so he didn't want to go back to his remains, so we got the rest of his soul from the remains to the golem. So now he is restarted again, and he will stay with little Carly forever, or Carolina. And yes, so he embraced eternal agony, which is terrible. We need, in my headcanon, they will live forever, happily, because there's gonna be a dwarf like Hugin. It's gonna be a great dwarf and fix the mechanical perfectly so that that he doesn't have to be in suffering anymore and they can just be together. Nobody's playing AFK Journey, so we are gonna I guess we're gonna raid out to Mabby. We could do, I kind of want to do like a story-based game, but at the same time, I think Mabby might be the best. It's my birthday, let's just hang. That's what Tristella is doing, and then survival mode, challenge rides again. Let's do Bard Guy, because it's been a while since we raided to Bard Guy. I feel like he recently, and when I mean recently, I mean like a couple of months ago, he did like so he's still in the golem, right? Absolutely. Yeah, he chose that. And he chose it again. And he would choose it again if he had another option. So we are going to be raiding out to the Bard Guy. We got so much Carolina and Ludovic lore this season that I fear we will never see them again in the story. I know, right? It's terrible. But, you know, in my head canon, they're gonna come back, you know? They're gonna find happiness one day. And surely we'll get them again, right? They can't keep making new characters, right? But we can explore their stories more. Hopefully, that's my thought anyway. Yeah, the Graveborn fans are eating well. We're eating. Like, we're getting all the food, the nutrition. AFK Journey is feeding us. But yes, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. I actually, although it was very heart-wrenching, it was actually a really good story, and I'm glad we read it. Yeah, so I hope to see you guys next time, next Monday. And actually, it's gonna be the times on stream again, on screen, I mean. 1:30 PDT, 2:30. What is it? I think it's 2:30 MDT, 3:30 CDT, and 4:30 EST or EDT. Oops. But yes, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Have a good night or morning. See you guys next time, and stay sweet. Bye. Yeah.